Today I'm in one of the most famous parts of London, Trafalgar Square. Now this area, although obviously on the day I went it was empty because of lockdown and restrictions, usually it's very busy, and it's historically and to this day it is a sort of centre for protesting. It's usually whenever we have, whether it be Black Lives Matter or the Extinction Rebellion protests or any other protests, this area is completely crowded, properly crowded with protesters. And in the early 1900s, these protests were fairly regular, and so the Metropolitan Police Service decided it needed to find a way of keeping an eye on these protesters in Trafalgar Square, just in case they got up to no good. And so its initial idea was to erect a police box, much like the one seen in Doctor Who, which would allow its officers to call back to a local police station, but there was a lot of opposition to this, and so it was decided they would use what was already there. So on the two southernmost corners of Trafalgar Square are these two lamps, each on a kind of stone column type of thing. This one here is on the western side, on the southwestern side. On the southeastern side there is another one, basically identical, and the Metropolitan Police Service decided this would be perfect for its new police box or booth or whatever you want to call it, and so it was hollowed out and a phone was put in there which connected directly to a local police station, and a police officer would stand in here and look out these doors, these windows, out onto Trafalgar Square at protesters and anyone else up to no good. And rumour has it that they could also lock people in there, I guess one person at a time, if they needed to, but its main use was as a one-man police station, I suppose. There was only a phone in there which would allow the officer to call for extra officers if they needed assistance. It's often considered London's or the UK's smallest police station, but there's a lot of debate online over whether it should actually be considered a police station, considering it was more of a police box. This little police observation box actually has a more interesting and detailed history than I've pointed out here, but that's a longer video for another time perhaps. But in the 1970s it was decommissioned and is no longer used by the Metropolitan Police. Instead it's used as a broom cupboard.